Quick disclaimer, this video is meant for educational purposes only. Everything I say in this video is my opinion. Prop firms fund traders with hundreds of thousands of dollars and sometimes even millions of dollars. Some prop firms turn out to be scams, while other prop firms continually pay out thousands of traders, and not every prop firm is perfect for every trader. I have looked into and worked with so many prop firms, but the ones on this list are going to be the top of the top. These are the top 7 best prop firms rated with the pros, cons, and the overall feel of each of the prop firms. Let's get started. Here's the first one. Number 7 is Lux Trading. The pros behind Lux Trading is it's a hybrid style, meaning it's a mix between instant funding and challenge model, which means it's basically scales very quickly like a challenge, but you also start off with a very small account like an instant funding. The leverage you'll receive is in between the two. So you have a large maximum funding of up to $2 million, which again scales very quickly. You get a refund right after stage 1. And they're pretty much the only platform to do that after the stage 1, which is really, really cool. You get a full refund after you just complete one single stage. They're going for a very traditional and real funding solution, and they're using Global Prime for that, which is a very well-respected broker. You only get 6% gain requirement for the first 2 steps. They do allow EAs, but only if you own the EA. It has to be an EA that you essentially made yourself, if you or hired someone to make for you. You cannot use an EA that you bought off the internet. You have access to Trading Central, not to be confused with the Canadian prop firm Trading Central Fund, which has terrible rules and is nowhere near making this list. That one has its own issues that I've covered in other videos. The cons behind this particular prop firm, Lux Trading, is that it has a chat bar on the side, which seems to only work sometimes. Not a big deal. They're low leverage. They have 1 to 10 leverage. They have a minimum of 29 trading days in the first phase, and that might not be able to even use 0.01s. So if you use a 0.01 to try and fill up your trading days, they actually just won't count those trading days and you'll have to trade even longer, and they want you to take your time. They have a small account starting when funded. It only have a 4% relative loss. So that's a loss that will be trailing you as you make more money. You can't go back into that maximum total loss, which is really annoying. But again, they want the long-term holders, people who risk very small amounts of money at a time. The only prop firm I think that has the profit split percentage that goes down on later stages. So again, you do scale very, very quickly. You start off with 75% profit split, but it goes down to 50 as you make more and more money with this particular prop firm. And again, the relative drawdown is probably going to be the biggest issue, because that's going to use a high watermark. So essentially, if you make more money on your current phase, then your max drawdown trails with that, and you can never lose what you've gained, essentially, the 4% buffer on there in this compared to equity and balance. My overall review for Lux Trading is that most people don't like the small and relative drawdown rule and the low leverage, but do enjoy the authenticity and the trustworthiness of this prop firm. I don't think it's going away anytime soon. Number 6 is The Prop Trading. The pros are it has a good price ratio. It's $500 for a $100,000 account. It's a high leverage of 1 to 200, which is amazing. That's really high. It's pretty much the highest on this list. And as you can see, it has 0 minimum trading days. They have an 80% flat split. They have mostly a pretty standard challenge model. They've been around for a while, and they guarantee a funded account if you stay with them, pass all the rules, stay within the rules and pass. In other words, there's no risk team that can kick you out, as we've seen with some other prop firms. They have a low initial target of only 8% for phase 1. They also have a free trial. You obviously won't earn a funded account from it, but it's a good way to feel out the broker and see what offerings they have. They also have been building and working out their social media accounts. That is definitely respectable. They have a small discount and retry for phase 1. It's only for phase 1. So you also have some very specific parameters with that. It's only for phase 1, but they do have a small discount price if you do fail on your phase 1. They do have refunds for your payment on your first withdrawal, and they have a high maximum initial funding size of up to $500,000. The cons behind the prop trading is that you must trade on all accounts in all challenge stages separately. You can merge them on the funded account. What I mean by that is it has an up to $500,000 account size, but they only offer up to $200,000 per account, meaning that you have to trade 3 different accounts with 3 different strategies separately without using any software or anything to copy between them. They have to all be separate on all of them. Otherwise, you'll be flagged for social trading, even though they're all your own accounts. So make sure you trade separately on every single one if you decide to trade with multiple accounts all at once with the prop trading. If you trade any instruments, win or lose, that are not on the approval list, make sure you check with that approval list, then you will lose your full challenge. Even if you win the trade, lose a trade, doesn't matter. Be sure not to trade oil or stocks that the broker has. If you trade any of those, then again, it's just a disqualification. Be sure to check on the full list of the things you can and cannot trade. You can use EAs, but again, it's the same issue of using multiple accounts, is that you can't use the same EAs that someone else uses. So if you're using a public EA, you're probably gonna get flagged for copy trading, even if you didn't intentionally do it. So you can use EAs, but make sure that no one else is using your EA. You're not allowed to hold crypto over the weekends, which is an interesting rule they have. It's MT5 only, not MetaTrader 4, no other options available. They do have a smaller symbol list than most other top prop firms. They should have most of the ones you want to trade though. Again, just not stocks, not oil, but they do have cryptos, indices, and all, of course, Forex that you can trade with that one. The first 3 months when you're funded, you have a tight lot size cap. Never like to see a lot size cap, but unfortunately, they do have that for the first 3 months on your funded account. After 3 months, then you get the full amount back. You have no longer have a lot size cap. Overall, on the surface, this firm could easily be a top 3, but due to all the extra rules that are not standard and seem very avoidable, they must be held back a few positions. They have come miles from when they first launched and were in my original top 7 worst prop firm video. Number 5, the 5%ers. The pros behind the 5%ers is they have lots of models and options, such as the bootcamp. They have a great price ratio for the bootcamp as well. Each profit target of that bootcamp is only 6%. Again, the bootcamp is a separate program, not their main one. You can choose between MT4 or MT5. I do believe you'll have to ask permission to use MT4. Defaultly, they will put you on MT5, but you can ask for a broker switch. The customer service is also really good with this one. The most established instant funding model in the world, which is awesome. This is a very old and well-respected company, which you like to see. It has longevity. I don't think it's going anywhere. Very fast automated payouts whenever you'd like. You don't have to wait an entire week. You can just make a bunch of money in one day and then pull out the money the next day. It's super awesome. They also have a physical office with professional ownership and staff. And you saw that from when I interviewed Gil Ben-Hur, who is the owner of the 5%ers.
I said, let's make a club for the 5% people, the 5%ers. And
you have a very long time to pass. I believe it's a whole year, which is super awesome. And they even, it might only be 6 months, but they expanded the time if you want, so which is super awesome. So you have super long time to pass. I think it's one of those models where they don't mind if you trade very, very slowly. They have a new model called Freestyle, which at the time of making this video isn't quite out yet, but basically where you show your trading skills over a series of trades instead of over a time or balanced target. So this is a very interesting concept. We have seen it from other prop firms. None of these other prop firms have been very big though. So super awesome to see one of the heavyweights in the prop firm industry, the 5%ers, take on this model as well. So basically you probably won't be using MT4, MT5. You'll actually be just telling them what trades to take, and then it'll use those trades to make a certain price ratio, and you'll pass or fail depending on that. They'll have more information coming out very, very soon. I'll probably make a dedicated video, so if that sounds confusing, don't worry. I'm sure it sounds confusing to a lot of people. They have a huge maximum growth and scaling potential into the millions. They have extremely long running and well-respected company. They start slightly larger leverage than most competing instant funding companies, which is either 1 to 6, 1 to 10, 1 to 30, depending on which model you choose, each with pros and cons. They also have one-on-one performance coaching, which is nice if you're especially newer to trading. This is going to be a really, really good prop firm for you. The cons with the 5%ers is it has very low leverage, especially for some of those models, the lowest of which is 1 to 6, but some of them are a bit higher. They have different ways to go about that. Some people think it's better to trade a personal high leverage account than this one, which is only true in the first phases, but once the scaling gets in, it is better to go with the 5%ers. Most prop traders prefer the standard challenge model over instant funding, very limited instruments, Forex and gold pairs only. They might have had some updates recently to correct that, but for last time I checked, they only have Forex and gold. They're coming out with so many models and options, it's getting a little confusing. They have the standard with more leverage. They have the new one, and they also have the bootcamp. And I'm not sure if they're having any more in the works, but it's just getting a little overwhelming for people that are new to the 5%ers, understanding what it is that they offer. I can imagine how someone would confuse with stats of one model with another one. The 100K bootcamp has 3 challenge model with a 1 to 10 leverage, which is not very good. The less phases, the better. So to have 3 of them is not ideal, but the bootcamp, the way it works in general is really cool, where you pay later. It's super awesome. That has 1 to 10 leverage. The 100K bootcamp also starts at a 50% split, just like the normal one, but this one increases to 80%, but only after many, many rounds of scaling. It'd be really hard to scale all the way up there, but if you were able to, you can get up to 80% profit split with them, which is cool to see the 5%ers come up to the industry standard, even if it takes them quite a while to get there with so many different scaling. Overall, I love the 5%ers' unique take on the prop firm industry. The model they offer is very great for a very specific type of traders. It's definitely not for everyone, especially those that use the standard 2-phase evaluation. But with this prop firm, you can expect long-term trust, support, and a great relationship with the prop firm to client aspect of it. So overall, I think they definitely deserve a spot on this list. Number 4, Mint Funding. A lot of you already know this, but this prop firm has a large, respected, smart money YouTuber behind it, which helps a lot with the legitimization of this prop firm. From my extensive calls with Mint, who is the owner behind Mint Funding, I can tell you the incentives for the users and the ownership is extra aligned with this particular prop firm. He really wants to see you win, and due to large financial backing, this prop firm has no conflict of interest due to not backing traders like we have seen with other prop firms that are no longer around. By far, my favorite part about Mint Funding, and the thing that really sets it apart from other ones, is that nearly all the rules they have, even if you violate them, it's not a violation of your account. It's not even a strike. They just close out the trade that was violating whatever rule was violated, which is super awesome. So they have a lot of soft rule breaches instead of hard rule breaches where you just lose and will keep your money. So they do not have to keep money. They'll just close your trade for you. They have up to $2 million in funding with several options that are cheaper as well. And they have the ability to customize your challenge. Now, this is the first prop firm I've ever seen where you get to customize what aspects, what rules you want with your prop firm. And of course, it does cost a little more depending on which ones you want, but it's still super awesome to have that customizability. I love the make your own prop firm model that they have. It's great looking, very professional website, maybe one of, if not the best one on this list. They have one of, if not the most popular single step prop firms out there as well. I think it is number 1 for the single step prop firms in terms of popularity. The most trading instruments I've ever seen in any prop firm. And it's the same broker as Smart Profit FX. If you haven't already seen it, check out this video right here. That's the video where I talked about the new best broker in town. And this broker is Smart Profit FX. It's an amazing broker, partnering up with ACAP. Absolutely amazing. They have extremely tight spreads, best of any prop firm out there. Overall, fantastic for swing traders and long-term holders, especially. They have a good dashboard, real accounts. You can choose between MT4 and MT5. In terms of the cons, the biggest one for me is definitely the price ratio. If you're price sensitive, this might not be the best option on the list because it's $750 for a 100K account, which is not as competitive as other offerings. They also have a lower trailing maximum loss only to break even, which gets up to 5%. I made this video to show you exactly what that means. Let's say that you have a 100K account and you are to make 5%. Well, now your trailing drawdown, which is 5%, has now hit 0, has hit break even. Now, if you make even more money, your trailing drawdown does not trail anymore. It's now stationary at break even. So as long as you never come back down to break even, you're in the clear. You'll never lose your account, provided you're also staying within the daily maximum loss. Coming back over to the cons with Mint Funding, they also have a maximum leverage of 1 to 20, which is not a problem for me, but I know it is a problem for other people. Some of the extra benefits are paid extras, but I understand why they do this since everything is live accounts. It's not suitable at all for over-risking traders. Overall, this prop firm is new yet established, well-funded, great spreads, and great broker conditions, led by a trustworthy figure. The prop firm is a little more expensive than other options, and some may not love the 1 to 20 maximum leverage, but I wouldn't complain, especially when it's with a $2 million account. I'm excited to see this prop firm lead the industry in the new realm of one-phase challenges. The position of this next prop firm may surprise you. They were number 1 in my last top 7 best prop firm video, and now they're number 3, and that is MyForex Funds. The pros behind MyForex Funds, it has lots of verified payouts. It's a very well-established prop firm. They've been around for a while, and they have had all those payouts. They were even number 1 in the last video, so they are very on track with this. They have a great maximum total loss of 12% for their challenge model. They have lots of different models as well. They have a large Discord community, a likable owner, great-looking website, 5-day minimum per phase for the challenge. They have 1 free extension on that challenge if you need some more days. They might have some new models coming. They already have 3 established models. The cons with my Forex funds, and this is really going to be the primary reason why they're now in the number 3 spot instead of the number 1, is that the daily maximum loss is a huge issue. Now, it's always been there, but I didn't realize how big of an issue it was until I tried this for myself, which is since last video. So it's a standard 5%, but it's the only major player in the prop firm industry to use equity and balance in the daily loss limit. Most other ones use equity and daily and equity balance for the total, but not for the daily loss limit. My Forex funds is the only top player to do so. The profit split for my Forex fund starts relatively low at 75%, which is definitely beneath the standard at this point, especially for the top level prop firms out there, but they do increase that percentage over time. This next one is unverified, but I have heard a lot of reports from individuals contacting me about issues with the My Forex Funds customer service, both with response times being extremely long and a lot of payouts even not being fulfilled. So this isn't something that's necessarily verified. I hope it's not true, but it might be true. So it's something to take in mind as well. The last con I have with My Forex Funds is that other models are not very popular. Not many people like the rapid and instant funding types, and that's for very valid reasons. Overall, I hope the reports of them not paying out the large payouts are false. Their drawdown rules using equity is quite terrible, and even was the cause of me personally losing my live funded account with my Forex funds after I beat the challenge and verification. If you can get past these several issues, it's a great prop firm, definitely one of the most competitive on this list. Number 2, the Funded Trader. This prop firm has the highest maximum total loss and daily loss limits in the prop firm industry and uses this normal method of calculating the daily loss limit, easily making this the king of drawdowns and the most valuable funded account in the prop firm industry. I've made several videos on this channel talking about the Funded Trader and why it's so good and even how I helped create it. And so I do have some partial ownership in that. And because of that, I'll be personally overseeing that this firm stays as competitive as possible. And I'm currently working with the Funded Trader to design new programs that I know you guys are going to enjoy. They have an amazing price ratio of only $549 for a 100K account. That's before the VVS discount. Very responsive customer service, fast growing Discord community, only 5 minimum trading days per phase. It's easy to understand account metrics. You get a full refund with your payout, a lot of times with even some extra money in there as well. They have a nice, straightforward website, up to 80% profit split, that scales up to 90% profit split in the trader's favor. You can buy up to a $400,000 account all at once and up to $600,000 maximum total initial funding before the scale up. There's lots of ability to earn free accounts with this one, competitions and giveaways. It's a very established prop firm with many large verified payouts in the 6-figure range. The cons for the Funded Trader is there's currently no EAs allowed. The standard scale up, which is only a con since one of the top spots. You can't use CTrader or MT5 yet. And that's, again, only a con because one of the top spots on here. Brokers have been switching a couple times, but they might be switching over to the best broker soon, which is Smart Profit FX. They're not having a dedicated broker. The website is not as streamlined as other top ones. Overall, this is currently the fastest growing prop firm month over month. Even though the Funded Trader has already established itself, there are tons of new improvements coming that will very likely make this the new #1 prop firm king if the other prop firms don't catch up. If you're a prop firm trader or a seasoned trader in general, you definitely know about this prop firm already. It is #1 FTMO. The biggest pro with this prop firm is its longevity, exposure, and trust with the community, which has built over the last 7 years. It has CTrader. It's very well respected. Responsive customer service that when I had an issue that would end up being their fault, they took care of me and made it right as they have done for other traders. I cannot say the same thing with every single prop firm. And pick trading account based currencies from 7 different options, a very clean dashboard that has unique features that we don't see with any other prop firms, a very official looking and feeling throughout the whole process. They have an 80% base profit split and now up to 90% profit split after 4 months. They have their own phone app, which is not very useful, but it's cool they have it. They also have a swing model for longer term holders. The only cons behind the FTMO is the price ratio. It is one of the most expensive ones on this list. It is $650 for a $100,000 account. They have a low maximum funding of only $400,000. You can use EAs, but be careful if you do. If you use an EA that's very popular, you'll probably get flagged for copy trading, which is not allowed. So swing model is not very popular and it cuts into the leverage allowed. The news trading rule, which basically says that you can't trade specific pairs whenever a news release comes out, which is very concerning, especially for an EA that won't be able to look at the news beforehand. So make sure that you look at the news on your funded account. This will not affect you on your challenge or verification accounts. 2-hour rule, which is basically if you hold over a gap in the market of more than 2 hours, that is going to be a violation, is again only for your fund account, not for the challenge, not for the verification. Overall, FTMO has been off and on as the prop firm king for years, and I expect them to continue to hold one of the top spots for years due to their proven track record. I love the improvements that they have made, and I'm excited to talk about all of them in my new video that's about to come out. In that video, I'll dive into the largest changes in the prop firm industry since my last top 7 prop firm video, which was many months ago. Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I have 2 new styles of videos coming out very soon, one of which is going to rely on a poll that I'll make shortly after this video goes live, which is basically going to talk about in the next top 7 best prop firm list, which should I focus on ones that only do use EAs, only ones that don't allow EAs, only 2-phase evaluations. I'm going to let you guys decide in that poll what you guys want to see in a future video on a similar topic. Prop trading is absolutely fantastic, but if it's not for you, don't worry. If you just want to trade your own money, that's absolutely fine. And I just made a new #1 best overall broker video for you. If you haven't already seen that, check that out right here. It's the best broker in the entire world. So be sure to check out that video if you haven't already seen it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.